Mr. Paris,
Let's go.
Mr. Jordan with the shirt. Look at this guy. He's got the wrist.
Let's go. So
Let's go.
we are in Johannesburg, South Africa. Yeah, we don't play basketball that much, but if I get this in, gotta like, subscribe. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Ah, mate.
It's easy, boy. It's easy. I don't even gotta do a celebration because this is what I.
So Ham&Nate back again with news. Top G in jail.
Top G incarcerated. Prison life.
Yeah, institutionalized.
Bruh. Like everyone's making fun of him because of that whole Greta
Thunberg thing, eh?
But I'm just like people are brutal. Like it's just funny that they've already automatically assumed that he's guilty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
So is that your? Because also like what are the people on your side saying and social media that you've been seeing? Because comments are another thing, you know.
people are happy. People and they're making fun, calling him Bottom G because he's in prison and stuff like that.
I didn't hear that one.
Like
sorry.
I'm just like.
Okay, cool. Let's jump in.
So it's been 2 days since Andrew and his brother Tristan were arrested in Romania. And if you guys have been following the channel, you know there's been some crazy things that have happened since. And today there was audio released from Andrew and Tristan's cousin speaking on their arrest. I'm going to play for you guys the entire audio and not interrupt it whatsoever. And this is their cousin Luke. Supposedly he lives with them and he was not arrested. From everything I've seen on the internet, this was supposedly released to a certain group of people and then it was put out after that. Once again, I could be totally wrong about that. That's what I've found so far just through looking. And if I'm wrong, tell me and I'll pin the comment. But this is the audio.
The first thing I want to tell you guys is I promise you that Tate is too rich and too smart to do anything illegal. He's been too rich and too smart to do anything illegal for a very, very long time. As long as I've lived with him, I've never seen him do anything illegal at all in any way, shape, or form. Tate also, because he's foreseen of things. He always knew that this would happen. He's told you guys this would happen. He has many interview clips where he said this would happen. It's a 3-life process when you're someone that that let's say the Matrix or the mainstream news or the people in charge do not like you. It's a 3-step process. First, they try and cancel you. So they tried to cancel Tate. They really did. Unfortunately for them, they failed. So they failed on that end. So, if they fail on canceling you, what's the next move? Well, the next move is jail. And by the way, you can see this playbook. They do this playbook with Julian Assange. They do it with credible people. It's what they do. First, they try and discredit you and cancel you, so no one listens to you. If people keep listening to you, then they have to try and discredit you further and try and put you in jail. That's the next move. And that's what the Matrix has done. The Matrix is now trying to put Andrew in jail. It's completely bogus charges, but unfortunately, Romania is, you guys can look this up, is known for corruption, and unfortunately, corruption also works to where if the mainstream and the Matrix wants you, they can find a corrupt judge to sign a bullshit paper to get your house raided. And that's really what it is. It's one judge signs one paper, and now your house gets raided, and then you get, and that's how it goes. That's just how it goes. So, obviously that's all in the news now because that's what it takes to discredit, right? Just the house raid alone is massively discrediting. Julian Assange, right? I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's the WikiLeaks guy who reported a bunch of news that the US government didn't want to get reported. Then one day, out of nowhere, some Swedish girl said that he raped her. And there's no evidence at all that that happened ever. And I'm pretty sure the charges were dropped and it never even went to court. But by then he ran away and hid in exile in some embassy. He was in that embassy forever. Then they dropped those charges and they added on some new charges about something about leaking sensitive information, like it's a sort of terrorist thing. So anyway, that's the playbook they played on Assange. Step 2 done. Will they attempt step 3? Because step 3 is if they can't cancel you and if they can't put you in jail or if jail doesn't ruin your influence, the next thing they do is they kill you. They Epstein you. And Andrew's clearly said on multiple podcasts he will never kill himself. Andrew knew that this would happen eventually. It was always a possibility on the board. It was always, okay, well, we've done well in not getting canceled. We're not going to shut up because we're going to keep changing lives for the better. And okay, so that means step 2 is jail. And Andrew expressed in many podcasts that he knew that that was the case, and that's why he was worried. And obviously he was worried for a good reason, as we can see now. Because frankly, I'm extremely, extremely surprised this happened. I've been living with the guy forever, and I can tell you guys, it's not true in any way, shape, or form. It's complete, just literal nonsense. I actually can't believe it. It makes me really not trust the justice system at all in any way, shape, or form.
So, like, the thing about corrupt systems, right? And let me go to this first. Corrupt systems work both ways. You hear it in Andrew Tate's, like, previous videos. Oh, I moved to Romania because, you know, if you need to bribe a cop, like, that kind of thing. It's like, in SA, like, you know, people bribe cops. Yeah. But the thing is, when that works against you, when they bribe a cop to come and harass you, or they bribe the system to come and harass you. So, that system also doesn't favor you.
Double-edged sword.
Yes, it is a double-edged sword. The thing is, these allegations, you know, man is innocent until proven guilty.
But a lot of the time nowadays, it's like guilty till proven innocent. Eh?
But that's the thing, because the media portrays him as he's guilty already. And
it's like they just got him now.
Yeah. Remember the last one where he had the same thing. The girl is seen on a live, and then the boyfriend calls her up, and then she says,
tell the story.
Yes.
This is actually very interesting. Yeah.
So then girl calls. So they're having one of their boat parties with women. Flew woman over, obviously, and then one of the girls is seen on the live by friends or something like that. Sorry, I might not get the story completely correct, but basically the crux of it is boyfriend calls, she says she's been kidnapped, and now he calls the embassy or, you know, the authorities, and they go and raid the place, only to find footage that she was there casually or getting pizza. You see, this pizza's like a problem. I think it was pizza again. Eh? This pizza's a problem. This Romanian pizza, eh? That box. Eh? But she's going and getting that, and then only to find out that if they didn't have cameras in their house, it would have been a completely different thing. But because of those cameras,
they had proof, and also the records of her ordering food. Like, what kind of a hostage gets to order food, fam? Like,
so, and then I'll go on another side and say, gents, when you make it, and this is, I know we're talking about, but when you make it, woman, forget. Because that will be your downfall. That will be your downfall. You
random house parties inviting a lot of people. Forget about that nonsense. Eh?
Forget that. Stick with your family and your bros straight. But like, find a good woman. Stick with that good woman. If she doesn't want to be about that life, then it's cool. Then find someone that is actually for you and down for you. But this thing, you look at every time men fall. What is it? It's pride and woman. Don't be prideful and don't go and chase women. That's what I'll say.
The wrong woman, man. They'll do you in, eh?
Bro.
It will do you in. All of a sudden, it's late. People are raiding your place. Something will happen. It's just, If you look throughout history, oh man, this guy mentioned in the previous video, and he's talking about the greats, Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan. Alexander the Great fall because of Cleopatra. It's a whole story. And his mother, it's funny because Alexander the Great's mother told him, hey, don't go to Egypt, don't go see Cleopatra. And what woman? No woman. That's the thing, that Charles. He went to Egypt, got seduced, it was late, eh?
One of the richest men, if you look at all of the richest men in history, we can even go to 2,000 years ago. Solomon. Fell because of women. Wives and concubines.
I hear you guys, like, it's tough to say no sometimes, but you really have to. It's for your own good. It's like taking medicine, bro. Medicine doesn't really taste great, but sometimes you need it. You need it. So just say no. It's okay. There are other women out there. There's someone there. Yeah. There are good times with your bros. You don't have to. Just for your own good. But that was a little sidebar.
Yeah.
Jump back in.
No, now with this, guys, personally, my personal feeling. So when they arrest you, a lot of the times they might not have much on you, but they use that time because now they can access your house, right? Once they've arrested you, they can access a lot of things. So they use that time to find something incriminating. So now or plot something. But at this point, when you of such a big caliber, they're looking for anything. You might have made a mistake with your tax, or you might have tried to avoid tax, which is legal, but then you didn't do it in the right way, so now it became tax evasion, which is illegal. So they're looking for those small little things. Remember, he's a citizen of, well, not a citizen, but he holds many passports. So they want to find they're looking for just one thing to put him away. Because as you said at the time in the other video, he's an idea. They want to cancel that idea. And that's scary for me.
And that's the thing, like, and it's an effort. Like, they can't, for me, I think you can't cancel an idea. That's impossible. Like, Surely if people wanted to get rid of racism by now, you know what I mean? But it just hasn't happened. You can get rid of multiple people, you can get rid of racist people, but it's a concept, it's an ideology, and that's a different thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's that idea they're trying to cancel. Even if you look at the thing, they're keeping them for an extra 30 days. Look, they say this has been an investigation since April, basically talking about the first incident, but it's just scary because how I feel and how I'm looking at things, it's like people are not happy with him. The greater, as he likes to call it, the greater matrix. I call it the system, you know, but it's just different terms, same thing. I feel like if the system oppresses him, if the system tries to shut him up, tries to block him, I mean, how can they stop? Like, because of certain things you say, now banks are not working with you. Your Uber account, your Airbnb, like even your email, bro. Like, just because you're not following the narrative, I'm on the point of what happened to those people, like, you know, the royal family.
Yeah.
Why aren't they being investigated? Oh, but the media's not going to talk about that.
And anyone who tries to investigate them goes, yeah.
Shut eye, hey? But for good.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me. It's this greater system that has control. And I'm a believer of free speech. Okay, I might not believe in what you say, but speak what you want to speak. Say what you want to say. Now, I'm not saying incite violence, and that's one thing he also said. He said something along the lines, he doesn't want to incite violence, and that's why he's changed certain things. He still believes, but there's a way you can say things one way that can incite violence or incite certain things, but then another way that, you know. So the system is a scary thing, and I don't like the system. I don't like the system that oppresses me. Yeah, we've already been through that, bruv. We know it.
Yeah, no, went swell. So yeah, I mean, I think you've covered pretty much everything.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen to them? Prediction. I know we can't make predictions, like, because we don't have
we don't have
information,
proof, but just our own opinion. For me personally, I think they might get him on something.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot he has to cover or whatever, whether it's legal or illegal, whether it's planted or not planted. I think they're gonna get him on something, and then from there, his fandom is gonna explode. Like, I think a lot of people are gonna come out and be like, we told you, you see, this is what they do, especially since his cousin came out and said all of this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's actually very interesting. I sincerely hope that other larger platforms and channels cover what his cousin said specifically, just to give people an idea or whatever. I mean, I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but there are things happening in the background.
There's something so fishy about this situation.
Exactly, it's just,
and everyone doesn't want to talk because they're so afraid to get de-YouTube, de-this, because
platformed,
yeah. And if he really did things wrong, then I understand, like, okay, you have to pay for your crimes, but if it's...
Bro, actually, you know what? Okay, now we'll do another video, maybe we'll talk about it, but like an example I want to speak about is like Roman Abramovich, for example, owner of Chelsea. I'm a big football fan, and how they went after him.
They just
for
needed
the
one little
Ukrainian-Russia
gap.
war, and they use that as an excuse. Now you tell me right now what the UK government's doing for Ukraine. Personally, I don't know, but they just wanted to get Abramovich out because they thought he was funding the war. It's like, okay, cool, but that's another story, guys. But that's just another example of how these things can happen, and that was more personal for me because, I mean, fan. But, yeah. Anyway, anything you want to say?
Not really. Good.
I don't know.
Cool.